Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back a YouTube video. I've already recorded this video once today. My mic wasn't working because I've had mic issues recently and I plugged it into a different USB port, so you're going to have to let me know how the audio is now. Hopefully it's good, but it didn't pick up the first time I recorded this video, so that's great. I'm sure some of you guys have actually seen that and watched it with no volume, which is fantastic. But essentially, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to talk about altcoins, I'm going to talk about XRP, and I'm going to talk about the wider markets in general. As you guys know, I was posturing short yesterday as we headed to the top of the range that we've been stuck in since the 8th of August, so about 3 weeks. 2 weeks, sorry. So about 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks. When you're in a range, you should trade the range. That's how trading works. We had a tight stop loss in case we had some volatility around Jackson Hole, which is what happened, and that popped us out of the range and took us through this area of liquidity here that we did talk about in yesterday's YouTube video. I said, it's always important to watch. If we start to get moves, we do squeeze into liquidity, and that can squeeze price higher, and there's more liquidity above us up here, look, between around 66 and 67,000, but there's also liquidity below us around $53,000, $54,000. So this is why I've been kind of like cautious to do anything mad in terms of trading. I want to make one aspect clear and something that is important before I go on to anything else. This video is being released on a Saturday. It's the weekend. Volatility normally on the weekends. There's not normally a lot of volume. Trickery happens a lot on the weekend as well. So just be careful trading anything this weekend is basically what I want to say. I did, as I said, posture short. The short was stopped out. And now I'm completely on the sidelines and reassessing. If we've started to our next impulsive move, which we don't have any confirmation of yet, then I'm going to be posturing long. But there's some things to worry about and some things to be bullish about. So the things to worry about are we're in the midpoint of the larger range, which has been going on, I think, since early March. It's been going on since, early March-ish, so the top of this range came in 11th of March. We're now at that resistance/support level. It's currently a resistance because we're below it, look, but it's acted as support when we've been above it, acted as resistance when we've been below, between $64,000 and $65,000. So eyes on for that. The bullish thing is, on the weekly time frame, we look like, if we can get this monthly close, especially above this middle resistance level, the RSI will probably cross bullish on the weekly or be very close to, and we could be charging up for our next leg up. What I did say on my live stream on Thursday is, whatever I'm about to share in this video, just bear in mind that medium to long term, I'm ultra bullish, and I said that exact same thing at the end of the stream. I really emphasized that. I was just trying to play the short term. And the reason for my bearishness in the short term, kind of even more so right now, is the DXY. Look at it. We've just absolutely shit the bed with the DXY. We're in the oversold area on the weekly, the lowest we've been on the weekly time frame in terms of oversold territory since we were literally at 89 for the DXY. So there's definitely something to keep your eye on there, and be careful because obviously DXY has in the past moved inversely to what Bitcoin does. And on the daily time frame, it's even more oversold. So that tells me that short term, there could be a bounce in the DXY unless we see capitulation or some sort of deviation below the range before there is a bounce. But I would expect at some point in the short term a bounce in the DXY, which is why another reason that I had confluence with potentially having a short on Bitcoin, which isn't there anymore. This is why my thought process was what it was before we squeezed out of this range. It's completely changed now. I'm just justifying this opinion. At the same time, stocks do look like they don't have a lot of momentum. They're touching towards all-time highs while the RSI isn't up in towards high territory. So I'm just a bit cautious. But in the medium to long term, I'm super bullish. And let me explain that we've got, as Arthur Hayes said, potentially between $500 billion and $4 trillion sitting on the sideline waiting to come in the market. Another reason why I was a little bit cautious short term is I feel like for the Fed and the Treasury to be able to push some of this money into the market, they need some excuse, and that might be a pullback in markets in general. So I thought about that as well. So we could still get that. Maybe we come up fast into the 67. We come down quickly. Maybe some news happens, a narrative, a war, or something like that. We come back down to the 53 for Bitcoin. Then they intervene in the market, start bringing liquidity in. There's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes at the minute. So that's why I'm completely sitting on my hands right now. What I have said though is DCA into alts. This whole territory, I've been saying, look, I am looking for this trade, this entry here, this green entry for Bitcoin, but I am personally massively exposed to spot. This is a tiny part of my position that I'm be trading, and if you are looking to buy, DCAing into a large cap alts at this point is looking pretty promising. I still feel like that. The other thing that I said is, in my last few videos and even on my live stream, alts look good, but I'm kind of cautious about Bitcoin, which I don't want to be, because in a perfect world, Bitcoin is expanding in market cap, we're bringing money into the ecosystem of crypto, and alts are then popping off as well. If alts are just popping off and Bitcoin's going sideways or down, it mainly means that capital's rotating out of Bitcoin. And if that is the case, there's only a certain amount of capital that can go around. That's why you only see like a few alts really pop at once, because, for example, if there's $2 trillion in the crypto market, 1 trillion in Bitcoin-ish, 1 and a bit trillion, if that starts to rotate, yes, you can see alts pop massive percentage-wise. There's only a certain height that can go, because only a certain amount of money in Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin's expanding in market cap and the whole market cap of the space in general is expanding, for example, we're at 2 trillion, I would hope that we could get towards 10 trillion this cycle if we have a good cycle. That's when you could see some crazy numbers for altcoins. To say Bitcoin goes up to 5 trillion, all of a sudden you've got an extra $4 trillion that we wouldn't have had if Bitcoin didn't expand, that can rotate through altcoins, and that's when you get these really big aggressive moves. If you think that Bitcoin's $1 trillion asset right now, and XRP is, let's say, 40 billion, that means that if like half of Bitcoin's market cap went into XRP would do like a 10x. So that's at 1 trillion. If it went to 5 trillion, then XRP would obviously do a 50x. And that's why, that's XRP, for example, in that example there. And that's why it's so important to see these expansion in the market cap at the same time as alts are going up. So that's what I've wanted. And so if we get this push from Bitcoin and we do start to break out, which I did think was coming at some point, I was just trying to nail the short term. If we start to really break these levels here, mate, it's bull season. It's full bull season. But we're not there yet. We've got another month or so. September, I am cautious on. And in towards the middle, like probably the second to third week in October, in towards November, I'm getting bullish on again. Because the Treasury and the Fed work for the government and the elections are coming up. So they're probably going to try and like stimulate, loosen the economy, make things be green, and make everyone very happy in terms of the markets, because that's how you win elections, how you win votes. So that's been my thought process. Until then, I am still cautious. But what we've wanted, for example, if you're an XRP holder, we've wanted this extra liquidity to come into the market. We've wanted to see alts popping off, like we're seeing CRV move up at the minute. We're seeing even some action from Sol the last few days. Flare is trying to move off of its bottom. If we look at Wilder Worlds, there's gaming tokens are really starting to take a little push. ETH DeFi is something that I'm very interested in at the minute. Sushi Swap's taking a run. Aave's taking a big run. So we've got a lot of tokens at the minute that are starting to really catch a little bit of momentum. Obviously, we've got nothing to scream about yet. We're nowhere near any sort of proper bull run. But gaming tokens yesterday were like Gala, for example, was taking a leg up. And maybe that's like a bit of an insight into what could be coming next. But XRP's kind of led the altcoins so far. So we had this obviously move off the bottom for XRP. Then we had this off the lawsuit. This move here with the Judge Torres and the remedies decision. Maybe we see another narrative for XRP here, like the remedies being paid or something like that, or an announcement from Ripple, a partnership, something like that, that might break us out of this zone, which we've really stuck in. I'm going to bring my drawings back on now, but you can see quite clearly that this 64 to 60 cent region has been where a lot of orders have been happening for the last like year or two. This has been my wave count for XRP. This is what we're still in, and if we get this explosion, some sort of impulsive move with other altcoins and crypto moving up, I think this is more and more likely as we go through the days. We're just waiting for a catalyst and just that extra bit of strength to push us above this range here. So basically, I'm bullish large cap alts. I'm bullish alts in general. I'm cautious of Bitcoin, but I am bullish in a few weeks' time, so it just depends what happens between now and then. Could we get that extra move up? Sorry, I got hiccups for some reason. I just finished my lunch, came back, saw the audio wasn't there, and continued with this video. So if we look at the total market cap of crypto, we are at a first level of weak resistance here. We are taking a little bit of a stop out there, and let's see how we continue. If we look at alts, so this is the total market cap of crypto without Bitcoin. Again, this is a bit of a stronger resistance here. So again, we are stopping out at this level. Could be an area where we come back test and send. And if we look at total 3, it's slightly different. We are actually slightly just breaching that level of resistance there, which makes me think, and as I said, like altcoins are looking strong, which could be the wave, like we've had our wave 1 out of our Wyckoff accumulation or an accumulation pattern down here. My chart's not loading for some reason. Let's get on the daily so I can show you a bit more, obviously. But like, so the last cycle, 5 wave move, come down, had this like Wyckoff accumulation, wave 1, wave 2 to test the last point of support and the breakout area, sign of strength, and then wave 3 could take us all the way up to 2.84 trillion and back down, and then hopefully top out around 6 trillion-ish for alts. So ish, like we could go to this sort of area, which is a big gain from here. It's a 10x for alts across the board. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the next step of this bull run. And to finish off, I wanted to talk about XRP against Bitcoin, XRP against ETH. We've been struggling with this resistance level against Bitcoin. I'm going to come back to that in 1 second because I've got something really important to show you guys there. And against Ethereum, similarly, we've been struggling with this resistance level. We broke through, we came back, we've held support, and then we've been battling that support, the resistance a little bit again. After holding this weak support, we've battled the resistance, we've pulled back yesterday, but XRP has been the leader. Remember that, like for this last move, and I can prove that to you. XRP has been leading Bitcoin and ETH, because if we look at the last 11 weeks of weekly candles, so starting from here, the bottom in June 24th, to now, 8 of the 11 weeks XRP's outperformed Bitcoin, and 9 of the 11 weeks XRP's outperformed Ethereum. And this is where it gets exciting for XRP, because we break this white line here, and there's a minimum gain. I showed this in the last video, I'm going to show it again now. Once you break this white line, there's a minimum gain of 130%. If we have a look, this is the lowest gain that we had, 123% there, and then which is just here where we broke that line, and then the next time we broke it was a 200% move. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 296, and nearly a 300% move from the close of that break when we broke it here. So we've only broke this line like 5 times, I think, or 6 times historically. This time was 2,300% move. Technically, this is a wick back into that zone, and when we broke it again here, it will be similar, 2,600, I would have thought. 2,200% move when we broke it here. You're getting the point though of what I'm trying to say. This line, this key resistance level, once we break above that, it's a big move. 836. So the minimum break that we've had once closing the weekly candle above this white line here is 130%, and the maximum so far was 2,600, I think it was. So it's possible that we do that again. Doesn't matter what anyone says about emotion, all this bullshit that they say online, oh, it's not going to do this, not going to do that. The charts are factual. They are things that are not judged by emotion. They are completely truthful. The data is there. So the data says once we get a weekly close above this level, it's a minimum 130% outperformance of Bitcoin and a maximum of 2,600 historically, could go higher. Obviously could also not do that. History might not repeat, but let's see what happens. This outperformance was still when XRP was in the lawsuit against the SEC, and now that's supposedly clear. So basically, I'm super bullish. I'm trying to like keep on top of my bullish thesis, because like it is an exciting period, and we're right on the doorstep for XRP of a big outperformance. And I'm going to leave the video there. I'm sorry it didn't flow as well as I wanted it to. The last, like obviously recorded this already, and so I feel like I've talked about it, but I haven't really talked about it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. If you did enjoy, please do share this with a friend, and like and comment if you've got any questions. Also, I just want to say I appreciate you all. Thank you for sharing my content so much recently, tuning into my YouTube, subscribing to my channel, interacting with my free Telegram group, and interacting with me on Twitter. It means a lot. Like I give all this information out for free, and it's really nice to see when people appreciate the content, and so I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace up, A-Town Dance, Crypto Insight UK would say.